Today's dessert is Hong Kong style puff pastry egg tarts. For ingredients, we have some all-purpose flour, some butter, and a whisk to help us. So first I'm gonna dump the butter into the flour and mix it until it becomes a dry sand consistency. You want to make sure that everything is chilled, like the flour and the butter must be chilled. Just like put it in the refrigerator for about 10 minutes before you use it. I'm talking about the flour, and for the butter you can just like take it out and dice it up and use it. So you want to give some patience when you're mixing the butter and the flour together. Just kind of wiggle around and kind of wobble it until the butter and the flour is somewhat mixed. Please take your time if you're really gonna do this. It's gonna take about 2 hours, the whole process. And that's what it looks like. And we want to refrigerate it, chill it down, so the butter can stay put. And just use a plastic wrap and cover the bowl and just flip it over and lift the bowl back up, and you can form it into a dough later. And set it in the fridge for about 20 minutes for the butter to harden back up, because it's so crumbly, so you want to be careful. And just make it into like a size of your palm, I guess. It shouldn't be really small, but it shouldn't be really big either. And set it aside in the fridge. And so this is the butter dough. And for the water dough, we have eggs and water and flour, and just pour the water and the eggs into the flour and mix it until it becomes a dough. And again, the flour and the wet ingredients have to be cooled, really like chilled down too. And you want to flour your working surface really nicely and kind of knead the dough until it becomes a dough that won't stick to your rolling pin. If you feel like your dough is a little bit too wet, you can definitely add a little bit of flour and kind of mix it and knead it again. And just flour your rolling pin and your working surface, of course, and your dough to prevent it from sticking. And just roll it out into like a diamond shape. Let's say a diamond shape. So you can put your butter dough inside later to make the puff pastry. Or you can stop here right now and go out and buy some puff pastry to save some work. And just jump right into the egg filling part and start making egg tarts. But I think that making puff pastry takes time, but it's really fun and they're really good. So just after you roll up your diamond shaped water dough and kind of just put your butter dough inside and wrap it with the 4 corners. Wrap it really nicely. You don't want the butter to burst out later. And kind of butter the closed end here and set it in the fridge to kind of let the butter harden back for about 10 to 15 minutes is fine. 15 minutes later, I'm gonna flour my surface again, my rolling pin, and the dough that we have made at first. And we're gonna start folding. And you see where the end we have closed at first? We're gonna start rolling from there. Just kind of press it. It's a little bit hard to roll because it's hard, like hardened butter, but take your time slowly and just roll it into a long rectangle, and we are gonna fold it into 3 later. Just kind of work your way out. It's gonna soften later. And it should be flour as if necessary. I kind of just like flour in between whenever I feel like the dough is a little bit not as dry as I want it to be. And I'm gonna fold it into 3 layers, just like that, and put it back in the fridge again for about 15 to 20 minutes. And use a plastic wrap to wrap it and put it in the fridge. And 15 minutes later, the dough came back out. I'm gonna flour my surface again and the dough and start rolling again. So the technique, like the most important thing you need to get out from this video is that the rolling part, definitely the rolling part and the folding part. So the method is 3 times 4 times 4. So you have to fold it 3 times. The first time you have to make it 3 folds, and the second time you have to make it 4 folds, and the fourth time and make it 4 folds. And every time you roll it out and fold it, you have to put it in the fridge to make the butter harden back, or else the butter is gonna melt and your crust is not gonna be flaky. I'm only showing it 2 times here because I think it's gonna be really boring if I do the 4th time. You guys get the idea, and if you guys want to try it, try it. And if you have any questions, please let me know. And this is not my first time doing it, okay? It took a lot of tries. I think I used about a year. Not like a year to keep doing it, but like not continuously, but like I think this is my 5th or 6th time experimenting, and then I finally like got the method, like got the technique, and then this is like my 3rd time doing it successfully. That's why I'm showing it you guys, or else I won't be like wanting to make a video, because if I don't think I can do it, I don't think that I have the ability to make a video and show you guys. And just roll it out flat after you're done with the folding part, and just use a mold to get the circles to put in the egg tart molds later. I totally forgot about showing you guys the ingredients. It's just milk, simple syrup, and egg whites. And just mix them together. And you want to add the simple syrup slowly because you don't want it to cook the eggs. Simple syrup are just like sugar and water, and all the ingredients will be listed in the bottom bar, and go check it out. And strain it using a strainer. You don't want like eggshells or whatever to be in your egg tarts later, right? And I'm just gonna grease some molds and put my puff pastry crust, dough, they're not crust yet, to the egg tart molds. And I'm gonna show you guys how to form it into the egg tart molds. So I like the sides to be really thin and the top to be a little bit thicker, so you can get that crispy and flaky part. It's like the best part, right? Except for the filling. I love egg whites filling. If you want egg yolk, like the regular egg custard filling, go check out my other 2 egg tart videos. I talked about those in there, and there's also a recipe there too. And after we're done, I'm just gonna poke 3 holes using my fork, or do 2, 4, 6, whatever you want, and pour in my egg white filling and bake it for about 20 minutes in a 400-degree oven. Keep an eye on it. And I can teach you guys how to store the puff pastry. It can be up to a month if you put it in the freezer. You can prep it. I have a lot in the fridge. I'm just like making more because I want to show you guys how to make it. And just use plastic wraps, parchment papers, and wrap it around. Make sure you wrap it really tightly. And just thaw it out when you need to use it. And the egg tarts are out from the oven. And you can just like, after it's cold, you can just like flip it and be careful and transfer it to a plate. Do you just hear how flaky and crispy it is? I think you want some too, right? So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time.